Welcome to Malice and Mystery, where shadows whisper and the unknown beckons. Enter a realm of spine-tingling horror, eerie mysteries, and chilling tales. From real-life paranormal encounters to unsolved enigmas and bone-chilling urban legends, we bring you the darkest stories from the depths of the unknown. Subscribe if you dare, and remember, some mysteries are best left unsolved. People who claim to have sold their souls. The dark truth behind the legends. Introduction: the allure of the supernatural. A world where souls have a price. In the shadowy corners of human history, where myth and reality blur, there exists a fascination with the concept of selling one's soul. This idea, as old as time, has captivated countless generations, weaving through folklore, literature, and modern media. At its core, trading one's soul for worldly gain taps into deep-seated desires for power, wealth, or fame, and fears of eternal damnation or loss of self. The cultural significance of this theme reflects societal values and moral dilemmas, challenging the boundaries between good and evil. Stories of Faustian bargains retold over generations serve as cautionary tales while hinting at hidden realms beyond ordinary experience. This exploration delves into 5 individuals who claim to have sold their souls, offering unique glimpses into their motivations, consequences, and the mysteries surrounding these transactions. Through their experiences, we unravel the broader implications of negotiating with forces beyond our understanding, inviting readers to ponder the true cost of ambition and the price of the soul. Number 1. Robert Johnson, the Bluesman's Pact. Among the most famous tales of soul selling is that of Robert Johnson, the legendary blues musician whose life and music have become synonymous with the supernatural. Born in 1911 in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, Johnson grew up in poverty, surrounded by the harsh realities of the Jim Crow South. His early years were marked by a deep love for music. But his initial attempts at playing the guitar were met with ridicule and failure. Locals dismissed him as untalented, and his frustration mounted as he struggled to master the instrument. It was during this period of despair that whispers began to circulate about Johnson's supposed deal with the devil. According to legend, Johnson disappeared for a time in the early 1930s, only to return with an unparalleled mastery of the guitar and a hauntingly powerful voice. His transformation was so sudden and complete that it sparked rumors of a midnight meeting at a crossroads near Clarksdale, Mississippi. There, it was said, Johnson knelt before a shadowy figure who tuned his guitar and handed it back to him, imbuing him with otherworldly skill. Songs like Crossroads Blues and Hellhound on My Trail seem to echo this dark bargain. Their lyrics steeped in themes of desperation, temptation, and impending doom. Johnson's music career, though brief, left an indelible mark on the blues genre. He recorded only 29 songs before his mysterious death at the age of 27. A tragedy that only fueled the mythology surrounding him. Poisoned under suspicious circumstances during a performance in 1938, his demise was seen by many as the fulfillment of his alleged pact. Despite, or perhaps because of the macabre legends, Johnson's influence endured. Decades later, artists like Eric Clapton, Led Zeppelin, and the Rolling Stones would cite him as a pivotal inspiration, cementing his legacy as the man who sold his soul for musical genius. Yet, the question remains, did Johnson truly make such a deal? While no concrete evidence exists, the narrative persists, blending fact and fiction into a tale that continues to captivate audiences. Whether viewed as a metaphor for artistic struggle or a literal account of supernatural intervention, Johnson's story embodies the enduring allure of the crossroads, place where ambition meets danger, and where the price of greatness may be more than one can bear. Number 2. Giuseppe Tartini, the violinist's haunting melody. An 18th century Italian composer and violin virtuoso, stands as another enigmatic figure in the annals of those who claim to have sold their souls. Born in 1692 in Peron, then part of the Republic of Venice, Tartini's early life was marked by a strict Jesuit education and familial pressure to pursue a career in law. However, his passion for music proved irrepressible, leading him to defy expectations and dedicate himself to mastering the violin. His talent quickly earned him acclaim, but it was his composition of the Devil's Trill Sonata that would forever link his name to the supernatural. The origins of the Devil's Trill Sonata are shrouded in mystery and legend. According to Tartini's own account, recorded in a letter to French astronomer Jérôme Lalande, the sonata was inspired by a vivid dream in which he encountered the devil himself. In the dream, Tartini made a pact with the infernal figure, offering his soul in exchange for unparalleled musical prowess. The devil, now his servant, took up Tartini's violin and played a piece of such breathtaking beauty and technical complexity that it defied human comprehension. Upon waking, Tartini attempted to transcribe the melody from memory, but despite his efforts, he could only capture a fraction of its brilliance. The result was the Devil's Trill Sonata, a work renowned for its intricate harmonies, daring dissonances, and virtuosic demands. Tartini's claim of demonic inspiration added a layer of mystique to his already celebrated career. The sonata became his magnum opus, performed across Europe and earning him the nickname Il Maestro delle Nazioni. Yet the story of the devil's intervention cast a shadow over his achievements, sparking debates about the source of his genius. Some contemporaries dismiss the tale as mere embellishment, attributing his skill to relentless practice and innate talent. Others, however, viewed the sonata as proof of a darker bargain, pointing to its eerie intensity and the physical toll it took on performers. Tartini's life after the composition of the Devil's Trill Sonata was marked by both triumph and introspection. He founded a prestigious violin school in Padua and wrote extensively on music theory, yet he remained haunted by the dream that had inspired his masterpiece. In his later years, he expressed regret over the pact he believed he had made, fearing the spiritual consequences of his actions. Though he lived to the age of 77, dying in 1770, the specter of the devil lingered over his legacy, ensuring that his name would be forever tied to the intersection of art and the supernatural. The Devil's Trill Sonata endures as a testament to Tartini's extraordinary talent and the enduring power of myth. Its technical challenges continue to test the limits of violinists, while its haunting beauty invites listeners to ponder the fine line between divine inspiration and diabolical intervention. Whether Tartini's dream was a literal encounter or a symbolic reflection of his artistic struggles, the sonata remains a haunting reminder of the price of greatness and the stories we tell to explain it. Number 3. Nicolas Flamel, The Alchemist's Eternal Quest. Nicolas Flamel is a 14th century French scribe and bookseller. Occupies a unique place in the lore of those who claim to have sold their souls. Aren't souls, or, at the very least, entered into a pact with forces beyond mortal comprehension. Unlike the musicians Robert Johnson and Giuseppe Tartini, Flamel's story is rooted not in artistic ambition, but in the pursuit of alchemical knowledge and immortality. Born around 1330 in Pontoise, France, Flamel led a modest life as a scrivener, meticulously copying manuscripts for clients. Yet, beneath this unassuming exterior lay a man consumed by an insatiable curiosity about the secrets of the universe. Flamel's transformation into a figure of legend began with a mysterious book, said to have been purchased from a stranger in Paris. This tome, written in an unknown language and adorned with cryptic illustrations, reportedly contained the key to the philosopher Estona, mythical substance capable of transmuting base metals into gold and granting eternal life. Flamel spent years deciphering its contents, eventually claiming to have succeeded in creating the stone. With it, he allegedly amassed immense wealth and achieved immortality, sharing his newfound riches with the poor and funding the construction of hospitals and churches across France. While Flamel never explicitly claimed to have sold his soul, the alchemical tradition he embraced was steeped in esoteric practices that blurred the lines between science, spirituality, and the occult. Many of his contemporaries whispered that his success could only have been achieved through a pact with supernatural entities. The Philosopher's Stone, after all, was often associated with forbidden knowledge and dangerous bargains. Flamel's writings, particularly his allegorical works like Le Livre des Figures, reinforced this perception, describing his journey as one fraught with trials and revelations. Flamel's alleged achievements had a profound impact on European intellectual circles, inspiring generations of alchemists and philosophers. His story became a cornerstone of alchemical lore, symbolizing humanity's eternal quest for transcendence. Even in the modern era, Flamel's name endures, immortalized in popular culture as a character in works like J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. Yet, the truth behind his claims remains elusive. Historical records suggest that Flamel and his wife Perenelle lived comfortably but not extravagantly, leaving some scholars to argue that his wealth came from shrewd business dealings rather than alchemical miracles. Regardless of the veracity of his claims, Flamel's legacy underscores the timeless allure of the unknown. His story reflects the dual nature of ambition, the desire to unlock the mysteries of existence, tempered by the fear of what might be sacrificed in the process. Whether viewed as a visionary, a charlatan, or something in between, Nicolas Flamel remains a compelling figure, a man who dared to seek answers to questions that have haunted humanity for centuries. Number 4. Aleister Crowley, the magician who dared to bargain. Aleister Crowley is often referred to as the wickedest man in the world. Stands as one of the most controversial figures in the history of occultism. Born in 1875 in Royal Leamington Spa, England, Crowley's life was a relentless pursuit of esoteric knowledge, spiritual enlightenment, and personal power. From an early age, he rebelled against the rigid religious constraints imposed by his devout Plymouth Brethren family, eventually embracing a worldview that rejected conventional morality in favor of self-deification. His fascination with the occult led him to explore various mystical traditions, including Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, and Theosophy. But it was his founding of Thelema belief system centered on the principle, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," that cemented his reputation as a radical provocateur. Crowley's claim to have sold his soul is less literal and more symbolic, rooted in his extensive experiments with ritual magic and invocation. He believed that by aligning himself with higher spiritual entities, he could transcend human limitations and achieve godhood. One of his most infamous rituals, the Abramelin operation, involved months of intense meditation and ceremonial work aimed at invoking his holy guardian angel. This process, documented in his autobiographical work, The Confessions of Aleister Crowley, is described as both ecstatic and harrowing, pushing him to the brink of physical and mental collapse. Crowley interpreted these experiences as evidence of his communion with divine forces, though critics argued that they were merely hallucinations brought on by extreme fasting and drug use. His most notorious magical undertaking, however, was the 1904 invocation of Iwaz, a being he claimed to be his personal guide and the messenger of the Egyptian god Horus. During this ritual, conducted in Cairo, Crowley reportedly received the text of the Book of the Law, a sacred scripture that became the cornerstone of Thelema. The document outlined a new spiritual paradigm, declaring the dawn of the Aeon of Horus and urging humanity to embrace its true will. Crowley viewed this event as a divine revelation, but skeptics dismissed it as a fabrication designed to bolster his cult of personality. Crowley's life was marked by scandal, controversy, and a relentless pursuit of power. He openly embraced hedonism, experimenting with drugs, sex magic, and other taboo practices in his quest for enlightenment. His reputation as a black magician and Satanist was largely exaggerated by the press. Yet, he did little to dispel these myths, often reveling in the notoriety they brought him. By the time of his death in 1947, Crowley had amassed a devoted following, but remained a deeply polarizing figure, vilified by many and revered by a select few. Despite the skepticism surrounding his claims, Crowley's influence on modern occultism is undeniable. His writings, rituals, and philosophies have inspired countless practitioners, from occultists to countercultural movements. His willingness to challenge societal norms and explore the boundaries of human consciousness continues to resonate with those who seek to redefine spirituality on their own terms. Whether viewed as a visionary or a charlatan, Aleister Crowley remains a towering figure in the annals of esoteric history. A man who dared to push the limits of what it meant to sell one's soul not to a single entity but to the infinite possibilities of the self. Urban legends and modern interpretations. The soul-selling phenomenon in contemporary culture in the modern era. The concept of selling one's soul has transcended historical accounts and entered the realm of urban legends and pop culture, evolving into a phenomenon that reflects contemporary anxieties and aspirations. One of the most pervasive examples is the internet-fueled legend of musicians signing contracts with demonic entities to achieve fame. Stories of bands like Led Zeppelin and Metallica allegedly engaging in such pacts have circulated widely, often supported by apocryphal anecdotes and cryptic album artwork. These tales tap into the public's fascination with celebrity and the perceived Faustian bargain inherent in achieving overnight success. While no concrete evidence supports these claims, they persist as cautionary tales about the corrupting influence of ambition and the price of stardom. Beyond music, the soul-selling motif has found fertile ground in film, television, and literature, where it serves as a versatile narrative device. Movies like The Devil's Advocate and Bedazzled explore the moral dilemmas of characters who trade their souls for power, love, or material wealth, often framing these choices within a broader critique of consumerism and greed. Similarly, television series such as Supernatural and Lucifer reimagine the concept through the lens of fantasy and horror, blending traditional folklore with modern sensibilities. These portrayals not only entertain, but also invite viewers to reflect on their own values and priorities in a world increasingly driven by instant gratification. Social media has further amplified the reach of these stories, transforming them into viral sensations that blur the line between fiction and reality. Platforms like TikTok and Reddit abound with user-generated content speculating about celebrities, influencers, and even everyday individuals who may have struck deals with malevolent forces. Memes and conspiracy theories abound, ranging from tongue-in-cheek humor to earnest belief, creating a participatory culture where the myth of soul-selling thrives. This digital reimagining underscores the enduring appeal of the concept, as it adapts to address contemporary fears about identity, authenticity, and the ethical compromises demanded by modern life. Ultimately, these modern interpretations reveal how the idea of selling one's soul continues to resonate as a powerful metaphor for the sacrifices people make in pursuit of their dreams, whether framed as a cautionary tale or a playful exploration of human ambition. The soul-selling narrative remains a mirror to society's collective psyche, reflecting both its deepest desires and its darkest fears. Reflections on the mythos of selling one's soul. The stories of Robert Johnson, Giuseppe Tartini, Nicolas Flamel, and Aleister Crowley, alongside the modern reinterpretations of soul-selling in contemporary culture, weave a rich tapestry of human ambition, fear, and imagination. Each narrative, whether rooted in historical accounts or speculative fiction, speaks to a universal tension between the desire for greatness and the dread of its consequences. What binds these tales together is not just the act of selling one's soul, but the deeper questions they raise about the human condition. What defines the self? What are we willing to sacrifice for success, knowledge, or transcendence? And at what point does the pursuit of these goals erode our humanity? These stories resonate because they reflect the timeless struggle to reconcile ambition with morality. For every Robert Johnson who risks damnation for artistic brilliance, there is a Nicolas Flamel seeking immortality through alchemy, or an Aleister Crowley challenging societal norms in his quest for enlightenment. Their journeys, whether literal or metaphorical, remind us that the allure of power and achievement often comes with a hidden cost, one that transcends material wealth or fleeting fame. The crossroads where these figures stand, figuratively or literally, symbolize the pivotal moments in life when choices must be made and the consequences weighed. Ultimately, the enduring fascination with selling one's soul lies in its ability to provoke introspection. These narratives compel us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the societies we inhabit. They ask us to consider whether the sacrifices we make in our own lives, be it time, relationships, or principles, are worth the rewards we seek. In doing so, they transcend their individual contexts to offer a universal meditation on the human spirit, fragile, vicious, and perpetually caught between the earthly and the ethereal. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this video intriguing. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay updated with more mysterious tales. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and stay cautious.